Okay.
Wait, we're recording this?
Oh no.
I'm out. I can't be a part of this. It's against my agreement. I'm strictly a live personality only. No.
Let's make sure audio is up and everything. People in the chat room can see us and hear us.
So they slightly revised the notification thing on iOS 11.
The YouTube notification, or?
No, just for notifications. So you can't swipe over anymore to swipe into the app, but it gives you an open thing now.
So it's an extra button, it's an extra push?
Yeah, or if you're in the notification.
Was that from the machine already unlocked, or was that from?
That was from locked.
Lock screen.
Yeah. Oh, I probably don't want to open the stream on my phone.
Should I change the game we're playing on Twitch?
Yes.
We're going to get so many. What's that?
Yeah, I don't think we're a part of that, though. Invert mouse. No.
It's a password. Yeah, invert is really the only correct way.
Where's the auto run button?
Oh, I've logged in incorrectly so many times, it's asking me to hit not a robot. Oh, your proper streaming chair? All right, so Twitch is up. Where do I edit this?
PC Perspective plays.
Good name. We should, for future ones, we should have that little intro video that he made that we play at the beginning of the show. It'll go in the post when we edit it and stuff. Yeah. But. If you export a video
with transparency,
then yes, we can use it in whatever the hell this piece of
vMix.
vMix.
Yeah.
Yeah, I figure if we put that we're playing Battlegrounds on Twitch, we should probably have 7,000 to 8,000 people watching within a few minutes.
That's what I've heard.
Yeah. I should put professional in the title somewhere, right?
Can't lie to the people.
No. People are already noticing the games behind us. So, yeah, pretty good. All right, so double check. I see us up on YouTube. I see us up on Twitch. Late night television is on late.
So this is my very exciting PlayerUnknown character. Do you approve? Does this meet the modesty requirements of streaming on PC Perspective?
Is this? We don't have to put any indecency stuff on here. So, Are we recording? Are we everything? Are we good? I figure I'll just like start, check, all good. Yep. Okay. All right, here we go. 3, 2. Hey, everybody. Welcome to PC Perspective Plays. Video games.
Plays the hits.
On the internet. No, well, yeah.
I guess sort of.
Kind of is. We probably won't play very many, I was going to say bad games, but that seems unlikely. What do I call Jim here? Do I call him our roommate? Is Jim our roommate here at the office? Something like that. He's been buying all of these games behind us. I'm going to be honest with you, Jim. I think a lot of these are probably bad games, right?
What do you mean? Daikatana's right there.
Daikatana's on there. I don't know anything about the Star Trek games. At least he's got the Star Wars games. That's good. Tech War.
SimCity 2000?
SimCity 2000 is good, but what one did you find earlier? Who Wants to Be a Millionaire 3rd edition?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. Nice. So,
Chex Quest.
Oh, is that on there too?
No, but
that was
need a copy of Chex Quest.
So in this stream, what we're going to do, this show, is we're basically going to have somebody in the office, whoever, we don't know who it's going to be yet, every week, play a video game against their will, probably. And then the rest of us, the other person at the desk kind of sits here and talks to them while they do it, tries to figure out what they're doing, and then we interact with the chat room. So if you're watching on Twitch, you can go to PCPer.com/live, and there's a YouTube stream there embedded, but if you don't want to watch it, you don't have to. But our chat is embedded below that. You can actually do a pop-out on it, so you can interact with us, and I'll be following the chat while you guys make fun of Ken for what he's doing or his incorrect strategies. In today's title, which is going to be PlayerUnknown's Battleground, and as I was typing, I was making sure I was doing the possessive.
Of course.
In this, otherwise known as PUBG, otherwise known as just Battlegrounds.
Not to be confused with Battlefield or Battlefront.
Yeah, that's true. And so I'm going to be honest, I have not played this game yet. I have heard a lot about this game. I listened to a lot of podcasts, watch other videos about it, and I understand that it's quite popular with the kids these days. So Ken's going to play it because he's a kid. And how many times have you played, do you think, under your belt as you prepared for this moment?
I think my Steam time was like 4 hours. Over the past month and a half.
It's almost cheating, because the next one we do, like when we play TIE Fighter, you're going to get nothing up front. You're just going to start and we're going to go. And Jim will have to teach you how to play along the way, right? You did get a joystick for us to do that one too, right? Yeah. If anybody has an original Sidewinder force feedback, I would love to have one of those. I remember buying that, and the idea of even the cheesy force feedback that you had back then was astounding. It's still better than I think anything we have today in terms of rumble and controllers. Has anybody done a controller with like where the thumbstick actually pulls in directionally at all? I don't think I've seen anything like that.
I got nothing.
All right, well, luckily for you guys on the stream like this, you're not going to see us like this very often. You're more likely going to see this shot, which is the game that we're playing, and us kind of subset down here on the side. Are we blocking anything down here in this area?
I think we'll be good.
I think we'll be good with that spot? Okay.
So first, I have to get ready to go into battle here.
So PUBG, I almost said Battlefield. PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds is basically it is a multiplayer first-person shooter, but it also is third person. Okay.
Mostly third person.
Mostly third? I love the premise of this game where there's 100 people per match. You get dropped in, and once you're dead, you're dead. Right? There's no respawning. There's no...
Yo, have you ever seen the movie Battle Royale?
No.
Well, it's that.
Okay. And the last one to survive is the winner. Last one to survive is the winner.
Winner, chicken dinner. That's the important part.
Yeah. Do you get anything for being in second? Do you get any food items?
You get dead.
There's also a squad base for this, where like if you team up with some number of players where you're kind of on a team. So I assume that's just if your squad is the last one. It doesn't come down to if there's 5 people in your squad. If you're the last squad,
Correct.
Suddenly everybody has to turn on each other.
I think they should do that, but
I think that would be a good mod for it. Yes, we do have Interstate 76 in the background behind us as well. Tyrell asks, does my wife know what I do at work? Actually, this is what she's always assumed is the only thing I do at work, is either play video games or watch somebody else play video games. In reality, I do very little of this anymore. Ken, are you on fire?
No.
Oh. Are you in first person mode at this one? So this is the part of the game where you're in a you're in a plane and everybody gets to jump out, and you get to jump out whenever you want, right?
Yeah.
And the idea is you kind of pay attention to where everybody else is going, I guess. And you have 2 strategies. One is you skydive down into the area where there are a lot of people, and you get into a gunfight immediately if you're really good at the gunplay.
Or fist fight.
Or fist fight, yeah, because you land with no weapons,
yeah.
Right? Just your fist. You have to find everything.
My fists are my weapons.
The other strategy is you go to a secluded area and hide behind a tree for as long as possible so everybody else kills each other, making you one of the last remaining fighters.
But they do enforce like a radius that everyone has to be in that shrinks as time goes on.
So at first, anybody can be anywhere. And if you look at the map, you can kind of see where the center. Oh, they don't have the circle on there yet.
No, they don't draw the circle for a little bit.
The radius of the circle will compress, which forces anybody from outside of it to get inside the circle. Otherwise, they take damage and die.
And the circle is always in a random position.
Yeah, it is. But is the map always the same for now? Okay, I know. I think I had heard that they were talking about a couple of other maps, like a snow covered map. Would be interesting. So here you're picking up a backpack. What else you got? Tell me what you're picking up.
I'm just trying to find anything, really. I'm scrounging.
There's a lot of interesting quirks in this game. So sound is very important when you're kind of...
I should really unmute the sound.
There you go. You guys got sound over there now?
Yep.
You say yep or nope? Good. Okay. So you're trying to be stealth because you don't want to be seen, because chances are they will kill you. But you also have to pay attention to indicators that other people have been there, like doors that have been opened, cars that have been moved. Like I know it's been updated since then. There was a not a bug, but a
someone's around.
How do you know that?
I can hear a gunshot.
Oh, and there's also local talk as well. Right?
I have all of that muted because everyone is awful.
Oh, that's fair. It is the internet after all. There was a strategy that people had before for vehicles where they always spawned facing east. And if a car was not facing east, you knew that that car had been moved there by somebody else, giving you an indicator that somebody was in the area. They since have, I think, randomized the directions the cars face.
Yeah,
on spawn, which makes sense. It was a cool strategy to look at, as people, when I was watching streams of people saying, "Oh, that car's facing east. Chances are there's nobody in that building near it." And then apparently it was a strategy of really good players to make sure they always park their car facing east.
So now we see the circle, and we see my little character here. So I have to get to that circle.
Does it give you a timer?
Yeah, so if you look at the bottom right-hand corner, there's a timer there, like 3 minutes.
3:37, yeah.
But it doesn't immediately kill you if you're out of the boundary. If you're out of the circle, it slowly comes in.
Okay.
Like last night I had to run essentially across the entire map, and I made it.
The problem is when you're running like this, you're not really paying attention to what's going on around you as much, right?
I mean, yeah.
The goal would be also that your opponents are also trying to get to that play area too.
Yes, everybody that's outside of it, which it's not like everybody shows up on the map, is trying to scramble to get to this location. You climb that tower so you can open up a new space. Different game.
And then there's also these red zones where just fire bombs go off, planes drop fire bombs. So if you happen to be in that zone, you might get dead. You won't necessarily get dead, but you might get dead.
Yeah, M-Lock, I never saw Battle Royale. Now you say never saw, like it's not possible for me to see it in the future. Like I could still see it. Right. Warrock, we're reading this chat right here.
What if you put that in both chats?
This PlayerUnknown, probably not the real one, is asking why are we not both in here playing? And the reality is because this is our first stream at this new set location with new wiring and all that, we're growing into the space, if you will. It's super convenient here because we have the Asus, the brand new GX501, the Zephyrus. So this got a GTX 1080 with that Max-Q design.
GeForce GTX 1080 with Max-Q design, as Windows would report it to you.
That's actually the string that it reports? Nice.
Yeah, I would imagine that screws with some apps.
Yeah. Oh, it probably does.
Well, long.
So and it's not so loud. Like we're wearing lav mics that are omnidirectional.
I have headphones on, but...
You have headphones on. I can hear it, but it's not obnoxious. It's good.
Yeah.
Yeah. So maybe we get Asus to send us another one so we can have matching ones. Otherwise, maybe MSI sends us another one and we have competing ones up here. This is beneficial it's got HDMI output, so it works really well for capturing, and we won't have to worry about having a whole desktop and a monitor in front of us too. No, not on AMD hardware. It's an Intel, what is this, a 7700 HQ, GTX 1080. Yeah. Yes, AMD earnings call is at 5.
It's our counter programming.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Definitely not playing on Vega. Somebody's saying that there's a lag between the chat. So some of it is I'm just trying to catch up on the chat, and I read from top down. So if your message was at the bottom, that would be why. Yes, we do have a gaming group called the Fragging Frogs, which the reason for the naming scheme goes back many years, more than a decade, in our forums, and they played this a lot. So it's worth. Are you inside that circle yet?
Oh,
you've got 35 seconds.
It's wow.
Okay.
There are only 67 people alive, so I'm doing pretty well so far.
You're almost halfway there.
So, like the first game of this game of this I ever played, it was like last 7. I was number 7, but I never ran into anyone to shoot me until like I just,
TG asks, since the game is both popular and CPU dependent, will we try to find a way to benchmark it in the future?
I mean, it's multiplayer only, so that's really difficult.
It's really hard, yeah, because
it's also an early access and not the most stable thing in the world.
That's true. In theory, you could go into a multiplayer game.
I mean, I think
and
you
always
can
drop in
games.
the same area of the same island or of the same section of the map and try to like run around and then hope you don't run into anybody for
Well, you can create a custom game, but that wouldn't necessarily be a good simulation, I think, because you only have one person in the game.
Yeah, it might be useful though, because I mean, you haven't seen anybody really yet, so it might still be relevant. You're down to 62 though. There you go.
Now, Ken, what's the inventory management like? Because
not very good.
All the streams I've seen.
I don't really know.
Okay. It seems like everybody just hoards and picks up everything they can.
Yeah, I don't really know how to do any of this stuff, as it turns out.
But for the uninitiated, the voice you hear is Jim.
Quick draw
Manos.
Alex gave me a mic.
Oh no!
I'm gonna regret that.
So I just put an extended quick draw mag on my pistol. So.
I've also watching the streams of this. Why they made the ammo system so complicated?
What do you mean
you have to know what ammo goes with what gun, right? As opposed to it just saying it's ammo for gun X ABC or whatever. But I'm sure once you know it, you're in there. So.
Gunshots.
PlayerUnknown says to benchmark the lobby. There you go. Yeah. There's 100 people in there. But then you got to worry.
It's also awful.
Network connectivity of everybody all the time.
The answer to that benchmark is it's always awful.
Yeah.
The lobby never runs well.
Warwick says inventory is Arma style.
That would make sense.
Yeah.
Arma is another one of those games where I look at it in awe, but I have no understanding.
Correct. That's one where I really enjoy watching people play it, like people who are really good.
Yeah. If they know what they're doing and they're executing some sort of like team maneuver, it's amazing.
See, part of the issue here is due to our audio setup, I don't have stereo audio, so I can't necessarily tell where gunshots are coming from, though I can hear them, but...
We're going to try, so the way our system is set up right now, we can talk a little bit about just how we're running the stream. So we've got the Asus Zephyrus machine that he has, HDMI out to a dual-link DVI splitter. Is that what we're using?
Mm-hmm.
Right, and then the DVI splitter goes to... Wait, but why do we need the splitter?
We don't.
Okay.
It was set up for.
It was already set up for that. The splitter will be helpful to get it up on the second monitor.
Yes.
Though, so we'll be able to do that. So go to a dual DVI splitter so that we can have a big monitor in front of us, which we don't yet, but we will. And then also one going to the capture machine. And then we have your audio coming out over a
USB
sound card, essentially. And then Ken gets his audio from the mixer, which unfortunately downsamples it into mono, right? Which is
and it's probably a little more delayed than I would necessarily like.
We can maybe figure out a.
Yeah.
I think one of the options we could consider is that NDI. Is that what it's called, right? The
yeah.
Yeah, that comes with it.
Sure.
So we'll play with it, see what we can do.
Yeah.
I mean, if I just break audio off of that XLR box somehow, the USB audio card would be fine.
Yeah, I guess so.
Or we can steal Jim's Scarlet.
You have a shotgun? Yeah.
Oh, is that going to work?
Yeah, because you can run the headphone monitor directly off of it.
Right.
So if you guys have also during this time, while we're watching Ken run through a grass field for a little while.
It's hard work.
You're almost halfway. You're almost 50. You're in the 55th percentile of players in this game.
That's good math there, right?
How does that make you feel?
Just thrilled.
We're also just going to use this time to randomly BS about stuff. So if you have questions for me or Ken or Jim or anybody, you can feel free to ask him in the chat, even if they're unrelated to PlayerUnknown's Battleground. Grounds. Is it ground? Grounds.
Grounds.
All right, fair enough.
Well, he's not unknown anymore.
That's true.
He's quite well known now.
Yes, he is quite.
#1 game on Steam for like 2 months.
How much is the game?
$30.
$30, and they sold 5 million units, something like that.
It was a lot.
Oh,
see,
I see someone there, but I have a pistol.
Yeah. This is where you get into the hiding part.
Yeah.
And do we know how do they handle like graphics quality settings? Like you're in some grass there, but if the opponent turns their quality down, does like the grass go away? They can just see you crawling on a bare mountain.
They fixed it so everyone renders foliage and stuff like that. I mean, not that I'm exactly hidden.
Can you replace the texture pack so enemies stand out in bright red?
Steam Guard, baby.
Quake 3. Was that guy? Oh. Let them shoot each other.
Shit's going down, man.
Oh, he's coming back. Oh.
Ah, switch.
Oh god,
weapons.
Oh god.
Ah, fuck.
You don't have any. Oh yeah.
Oh no.
What were you trying to do?
I couldn't switch weapons. Like the scroll wheel went one too far. It went to the smoke grenade. This is about going to be the entire experience of this game while we're playing it.
47.
Just FYI.
You got a reward of 77. So once you're dead, you're out of the match.
Yep.
Right? So there's no... Could you stay there and watch other people play?
No, you can't watch other people play because... Like, you can't spectate because then you'll be able to tell people...
But can you do that on a...
you can on a squad match. You can spectate your squad.
Okay. Yeah, rest in peace, feel bad, potatoed. Scroll wheel, yeah. Rest in peace, Ken. K-I-N.
1 and 2 are primary...
Rest in peace, Ken.
1 and 2 are primary weapons, 3 is pistol. I thought it was positional like it would be in an Unreal.
Oh,
because it was in my second slot, so I kept trying to hit the 2 button. Okay, that makes more sense. That's good.
Humanitarian, can't really talk about any of the Threadripper stuff yet. I'll be at the Capsaicin event, which AMD has very publicly talked about as kind of like their launch party, I guess, for RX Vega and Threadripper. So I honestly don't know what information they're going to release there versus what they're going to hold back for later. I know they've said they're going to sell Threadripper in quote unquote early August, but I don't know exactly what day that is either. So.
Okay, if you look at the inventory, it shows the markers. The UI for scrolling should match the hotkey. Like that's how first-person shooters work.
You should, like, as you scroll down, it should
hit invisible wall. So you can scroll through your weapons, and my pistol was the second icon on that screen, but it was in slot 3. So I had to press the 3 button instead of the 2 button on the keyboard.
Okay.
Not that I would have won, let's be honest.
The third person, Steve, talking on the stream is Jim.
Hello.
Jim is our office mate. We can just say he works here. He does stuff for us.
He showed up one day.
He showed up one day with a desk and a computer and said, "I heard you have air conditioning and internet." And we said, "Yeah, we do." And so now he takes up space on a wall.
Mm-hmm. That's literally exactly what happened.
The good news is he supplies, every time we have a random need of some piece of hardware or something like that, he can just usually pull out a drawer. He's like, "Oh, I've got one of those." So that's good. Plus, he's been buying all these games behind us as well.
Yeah, I used to have a very, very big collection of big box PC games. And right around the year, it was right when the original Xbox came out, I was an idiot teenager, and I sold all my games to buy an Xbox and related accessories.
All your PC games.
All my PC games, and I've never forgiven myself, so now I'm going crazy. Props to like YouTubers like LGR, Clint at LGR, and Metal Jesus Rocks, and those guys who collect those games, and you know, it's the nostalgia is just incredible, and hopefully we can show Ken and maybe even Ryan, because he hasn't played the Star Trek game, so
No,
show
I've played
them
none
a good
of
time
those.
here.
Probably my. As I look back at my PC gaming history, my most nostalgic games would be Ultima Online would be number 1. I remember, I don't know, I'm gonna find out what year it came out, but that was a game that I remember. It was interesting for a couple reasons. One, I was playing it with people that were older than me, like that worked at EB Games or whatever, Electronics Boutique at the time, right? So I thought it was cool because I was playing a game with these older guys. I would also, this is part of my rebellious nature where my mom would think I was asleep, but then I would sneak out in the middle of the night and go turn on the computer and play Ultima Online because that's when all the older people were playing it. They were playing it up till 2 in the morning or whatever. I was in middle school or high school or whatever it was. So it came out in 1995. Wow. No. 1997. Ultima Online launched and opened the first game servers to the public. It reached 100,000 paying subscribers in 6 months.
Hey, I found some weapons.
What do you got? Shotgun? Oh, wow, you got a lot of stuff. Now, does that rifle have a
if I really wanted to grief someone,
I have
a sickle.
Oh, sickle. So Ultima Online, I remember being so amazed about the idea of this persistent world. I had gotten, and I think at the time...
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
There it goes.
Oh, sweet. I have something to blame it on.
I bought a house in this game and had, like, a chest that you would lock things in. It would be there when you come back, right? But people could rob you, right? So you could buy AI characters to stand guard. It was. I still think it's an impressive game. And I even when they were starting to shut it down, I started to play on the custom servers.
Yeah.
The other game, 2 games probably that were most formative were TIE Fighter and X-Wing versus TIE Fighter. I didn't really play X-Wing.
Yeah. Well, in comparison, X-Wing is quite a bit rougher. I mean, they learned a lot making that game that carried forward. So.
And you and I were talking about this when you were getting these boxes, and the story in TIE Fighter was great because it involved, relatively unknown characters at the time. Grand Adam was Thrawn is the primary.
Heir to the Empire trilogy, I think, was out.
It was out.
I think it was right around that time, early 90s.
Yeah. But yeah, those 2 games were where I that's where I was investing in Sidewinder, force feedback, and whatnot.
Yeah, I got my first joystick for TIE Fighter, I think it was, because it wouldn't even. They've changed it in subsequent releases, but I think the initial release wouldn't even let you play without a joystick.
The one on
incorrect.
Steam.
Yeah, we booted on
the
Steam
one on Steam
yesterday, and it won't.
crashed back to the desktop with an error message that says no joystick detected.
Yeah, I mean, like they had a Windows release in '97, I think it was.
Yeah.
That I think you can use with a mouse. I think. But,
so I presume a Sidewinder force feedback is a game port device.
It was the initial release was parallel port, or no, might have been. Well,
I don't know.
The subsequent releases had USB.
Yeah.
And I had one.
That was my question.
Maxius says that Ultima Online still lives.
Yeah, there's a lot of YouTube streamers playing it.
Is it official servers or are they all
I don't think
third-party
so.
servers?
Yeah.
Yeah, it wouldn't do that.
I drove past Lord British's house in Austin not too long ago. Unsurprisingly, he has like a planetarium, is that what you call it? Like a giant telescope, essentially, on top of his house that rotates and like a... Is that the right term?
No.
What's the term I'm looking for?
Observatory.
Observatory, there you go. Planetarium is like a place that would have an observatory.
Sure.
I don't know.
Don't know.
I don't know. White Zero asks if any of us bought a Rift while they were on sale.
No.
No?
I invested in Vive, and I'm just going to stick with that till there's the next major hardware breakthrough.
Yeah.
I don't play
Plus,
video
Mark
games as
Zuckerberg
it
gives me the
is.
creeps.
It was still a great deal, $3.99.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For all that.
Good price for that
If
hardware.
if you're not into that yet, and you're not doing like PlayStation, you want to do PC, that's probably the best way to go when that deal was there.
Maxius says they never shut down. That might have to be one of these games.
Huh.
Oh, great. Watch Ryan fumble through Ultima Online for 2 hours trying to figure out how the hell anything works.
Watch me hit a mannequin with a sword for 30 minutes as I gain up my stat.
You gotta level up.
Ooh, a 4x scope.
The Jedi Knight games were great as well. I do agree with that. That was where lightsaber gameplay is impossible to do right. It's impossible.
It's not.
I don't know how well it holds up now, but at the time, I was pretty blown away because you could like cut their arms off,
and you could throw it and get it back. And
like it played really well to myself at the time. You know,
what was the game that came out just before Ultima Online? It was like the first kind of major OEM, major player OEM.
I just swim underwater the entire time. No one can find me.
For sure you drown. That's what the long icon means, probably. If anybody has a USB Sidewinder force feedback, please let me know.
Last time I saw one that was in good condition on eBay, it was like $600.
Right click will auto attach to gun, apparently.
Cool. I don't know if there's something I need to do to use that scope, because it doesn't really seem to be zoomed in further. I'm not entirely sure. It's a 4x.
Oh, that's pretty good.
But I don't quite remember what it was to begin with. Like that doesn't.
You have to be in first-person mode or something?
Nope.
The wheel? No, the wheel's gonna change guns. Somebody will tell us. How do we engage the scope, if you will?
It might already be.
And is it? You did it. You did a. Stick is what I'm after. Although wheel, I didn't know. Did they make Sidewinder wheels and pedals? I guess they did.
Microsoft had a range of Sidewinder branded products like gamepads and stuff.
It was so good. They made.
I had a USB Sidewinder joystick at some point. I don't think it had force feedback.
The mouse and the joysticks and the hardware they made, the keyboards they made at the time too, were amazing.
Yeah, there was a good period there where they were
click, don't
really
hold
good
it,
hardware accessory maker.
That's not intuitive.
I mean, there's other joysticks nowadays.
Nice.
Oh yeah.
Nice. Sure, there's nobody else around.
Now, can you
close the door?
Can you rob him?
There's still a dead body outside. They're gonna know.
Can you move bodies like Hitman style?
No.
That would be good.
And I could shoot him away. I don't think he had it.
Forge Reality, if you want to sell a Sidewinder force feedback, let me know.
I think it would be interesting to see if we could get some of the modern like HOTAS systems to work with.
In TIE Fighter, you mean?
Yeah.
Oh.
Because they're just mapping, like you wouldn't get the advanced.
I would have played some, like, probably X-Plane at this point, not Flight Sim X, but I want to play some Flight Sim.
Yeah.
I spent an inordinate amount of time playing some Flight Sim.
The hat you wear with the IR on it?
Track IR?
Track IR.
Yeah.
Somebody modded X-Wing Alliance to work with Track IR.
You pick up the body's loot from the box next to it.
Oh.
They're telling you to loot the crate, but I think you've... Oh, there you go. It's nice that when you die, you carefully pack your material up into a box.
That Red Bull?
Oh, man. Look at that sweet helmet. And a gas mask. Yeah, now they're much happier. Ken, get his stuff.
Oh, look at me. I'm all kitted out.
Somebody's offering me a free joystick, but I have to pay for shipping from the Netherlands.
I'm going to be around there soon. They can just drop it off.
It's true. Ken's going to be in Switzerland.
In theory.
I will not be.
Booked the travel. Switzerland and Netherlands are like next door, right?
Yeah. Just drive over. Forge Reality says he uses his for flight games a lot. All right, that's fine. Stressed Out Cat, I will look into shipping from Netherlands. I have a feeling that's going to be maybe outside the nostalgia budget. Player well-known wants us to play Interstate 76.
I tried loading up a secondary.
Oh, God. Get behind the tree. Get behind.
Does
it show you where they were at or anything?
Nope.
It looked like he was right by that tree.
No, I think he was behind me.
Oh, okay. Must have been an artifact.
Stressed Out Cat still has the box. Is Interstate 76 not have a Steam release? Like a...
I think it does. If not Steam, GOG.
You have a computer in front of you. With a web.
Listen.
Fact checking.
I'm looking up Ultima. I'm downloading the Ultima Online client.
You need a GTX 1080 to run that, right?
Interstate 76, the Arsenal is on GOG. There's a Steam community group for Interstate 76.
It's called Interstate 76.
Yeah. Yeah, apparently it's not on Steam, but because in the description of the Steam group is a link to the game on GOG.
Mm-hmm.
So there's that. Let me look up this Ultima Online here. Store. Surely they don't still charge for this, do they?
$15 a month.
It's played through Origin, it looks like.
Which is funny.
Oh, you can buy...
Like, free to play?
You can buy currency. Ultima Online 7th character slot code, $20. Oh, man. I think I might regret all this now. 6-month time card, $60. They're still charging $10 a month when you buy it in bulk.
That's because people who remember Ultima Online have money now.
That's true.
Yeah, that's true.
That's, yeah.
Not you, but people.
I don't see, like, the game itself. Is it called Ultima Online Time of Legends? Weird. So there are player-run servers that code the game like it was back in the day. That's probably what I would want. Oh, apparently Interstate 76 was Glide.
That's...
Yeah.
That brings back memories.
UO Renaissance. History perfected. Login.uorenaissance.com, port 2593.
That seems not legal.
Server status. There are 617 people currently playing Ultima Online on that server.
Man, if Blizzard would do the thing that everyone wants them to do and put up vanilla WoW servers, totally
the
fucking
art
play that.
for the box for Ultima Online, and they gave you like a cloth map inside of it. I need to find that. All that. I need all these things again. What am I doing? Don't do this. This is where Jim got where he is.
Yes, I am a cautionary tale.
eBay.com Ultima Online.
Look, I won't tell your wife, you don't tell mine. Everything's fine.
Factory sealed Ultima Online Charter Edition with original box. Buy it now. How much do you think it costs, Jim?
$700.
Yeah, I was gonna say $200 or $300.
$1099.99.
As in 10,000?
As in $1,099.
Oh, okay.
99.
Okay.
Or just $52 for 24 months with no interest financing from eBay.
That's a good deal.
Bargain at
I had that box, but I don't want it for $1,000. I can tell you that much.
Turns out you don't need a sealed copy.
I have found, though, that in buying some of these games on eBay, there's a disturbing trend where people think that because something's wrapped in saran wrap or has Scotch tape on it, that it is sealed.
Sealed, yeah.
And I've received a few, and they conveniently hide those flaws when they're taking their listing photos.
Yeah. Yep. See, here's an open Charter Edition that's listed by now for $699.
What do I drop?
$699. That's insane.
Well, where's your box?
I don't know. It's probably in the garbage. Carmageddon is another one on here.
That was a great game.
Carmageddon, yeah. So got a link to that one. What are you trying to do? Why are you naked? Because it doesn't protect you from bullets?
I had to do clothes.
Logitech 3D force feedback USB joystick for PC. Buy it now. $28.99 on eBay.
If that's the one I'm thinking of, it's a piece of crap.
I don't know. It's like bluish tint to some of the buttons.
I guess. I bought one of the Logitech
force
feedbacks that did not work well. Their standard, like, basic 3D joystick, that's the one we got over here, it's cheap, but it's fine for casual stuff.
Oh, man.
Filthy casual.
Force Feedback Pro. Is it USB? Does it work? Man, I hate buying things on eBay. Ooh, I could save if I combine shipping. They never take a picture of the connector, and they don't say whether or not it's USB.
Probably not then.
Or game port.
I think you can get adapters.
Another hole I don't need to be.
Yes.
House of the Dead would be a good one. I think we should play Typing of the Dead as well. Oh, he's got a motorcycle now.
Yeah, I was getting shot also.
Typing of the Dead was great. Did you ever play that, Jim?
Mm-hmm.
When we were in college, we played that on Dreamcast. And you could just hook up any normal keyboard to it.
Console of the future. Not our future, but someone's future.
Alternate future.
Tyrell is asking me about the RX Vega benchmarks. I was kind of working on a post on that, but this ran into it. The leaked benchmarks for RX Vega that were posted to the 3D Mark page look legit. And it's worth noting that all of those scores are well within range of the Radeon Vega Frontier Edition testing that I had already done, indicative of the fact that gaming performance will be somewhere around that. The water-cooled card and its 300-watt setting falls between 3D Mark scores in the leak that's on videocards.com. It's at like 21,500. This is like 22.2.
Good thing I have a helmet on.
Look at the reflection in that mirror on the side.
But Ryan, you can't take any of those scores, including the ones the drivers aren't optimized yet.
Clearly. Whereas when AMD themselves is accidentally posting their 3D Mark scores, that's
that was the before, and he was running the tests with the new drivers.
Unlikely.
Well, hey, I'm super excited about Threadripper, so there's that. If I can't be excited about AMD GPUs, at least as excited, it depends on the price.
Yeah.
It's all. I mean, if the price comes out and it's right, it's going to be a great product.
If there's anything I've learned from your time here is that you're not afraid to deal with some power consumption.
Yes, that's right.
But didn't they list the Threadripper prices?
Yeah, they did.
No, when I said price, I meant RX Vega price.
Okay.
The Threadripper price seems great. I mean,
yeah, humanitarian.
We need
that
to
the
test
FE
it,
is similar to the gaming card performance.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, if we could find a backpack somewhere around here.
Yes, I am reading this. And the comment of Threadripper looks like a nail in Intel's coffin is perhaps the most exaggerated turn of phrase I've heard in a while. It's going to take, even if AMD's Threadripper was dominant, it would take AMD years to make enough processors to take away the market share from AMD of Ryzen or Threadripper or anything. Yeah.
And plus,
it's an incredibly positive step, don't get me wrong.
That price range, though, is also way, way outside of the average selling price for those. Like, most people are not going to spend $1,000 on a processor.
$999 and $799 are still way high.
Yeah. I mean, the majority of PCs that are built, you're building Core i5, and that's where Ryzen is competitive. Ryzen 3, Ryzen 5.
No, haven't seen anyone. Well, there was a guy that was shooting me when I was getting on the motorcycle.
The sticker price, if you will, of the Ryzen 7 1800X is $499. Excuse me. And the Threadripper, the lowest cost Threadripper, $799. There's a pretty big gap there. It wouldn't surprise me if they release a part somewhere in between that. Now, the question
now that they've seen Intel is willing to release 17,000 different SKUs.
Correct. Well, the problem is you go from the high end is 16 core, the 1920X is 12 core, and then you have 8 core. Right, so you've already got your 4 cores between delimitation. So if you make a 10, you could do that. There was a question about can you make a 10 because now each die has to have 5 cores and it's unbalanced in terms of the CCX and all that type of stuff, which is true. But I think it would be a possible thing for them to make. It's just a matter of what is the performance delta between the 8, 10, and 12? Is it enough? Based on the clock speeds they can get to slot it in correctly at, say, $599 or $699 or $549 or something like that.
Yeah.
I think they should, if they can do it, or maybe they just think they're going to sell enough of the $799 and $999 parts. And keep in mind that all of the die are the same. So the die that they would use on the 1800X or the 1700X is the same die that will be on the 1920 or 1950X. It's just 2 of them.
Mm-hmm.
So they had to make decisions months ago about which gets put on which package, and we'll see. I think by far, based on the sales numbers I've seen, the 1700 is easily the best-selling Ryzen 7 part because it's, what, $329 or something like that now? It's still 8-core, 16-thread, overclock it a little bit. You're going to get really close to that 1800X performance anyway. So what are we at here? 59. You're down into the mid-50s again. This is tending to be your spot.
Here, we'll just hang out. Oh, no.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
So the recommended settings for this game from GeForce Experience put it in borderless windowed mode.
That's interesting.
Yeah, right? Never really
Maybe
seen
it has no impact on performance and they think people are switching back and forth between chats or something?
Stupid Windows. Like, it works well.
Does this have a button to disable the Windows key? I bet it does. Yeah, probably.
It doesn't have a button on the keyboard to disable the Windows key.
There's no function button?
I did review this laptop. I know what the keys do.
What happens if I hit that button?
Software
launches the
solution?
ROG app.
Oh. Say again?
Is there a software solution to enable game mode?
No.
That is, forget RGB and forget all the function keys, that the disabling of the Windows key and other system keys is the greatest advancement in gaming keyboards, period.
Sometimes I want it.
Well, then you can turn it off.
Yeah.
It's just so annoying, especially when you're not in borderless full screen, when you're in true full screen and you hit that button and the game window and the resolution redraws. And
Chris and M says he doesn't see Ryzen selling in OEM systems because it does not have a GPU integrated. And you're right. OEM systems would require a discrete GPU for now. However,
AMD will sell
the APUs are coming out. I don't even know when. Like the Ryzen-based APUs. There are APUs that fit in the AIM4 socket, but they're Excavator and Polaris-based. No, but they're coming.
Yeah.
Like, that was known in the AIM4 platform.
That must mean the Ryzen APUs are later than that, because why would you launch both of them at the same time?
Correct.
Is that the Raven Ridge part?
No, Raven Ridge is the 1800X family.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's Bristol Ridge.
Bristol, okay.
So complicated.
Just want to shoot some stuff. So much to ask.
Are you inside the circle?
It's about to shrink again.
Now, isn't this like the time where you should be finding a spot to hide? Oh, wait, did it move?
Yeah.
It moves. It doesn't just shrink. Or did it? No, it did just shrink.
The center doesn't stay the same.
Oh, okay. I thought the center always stayed the same. Yeah, I don't know. Are you logged in as you or as me on Steam?
Me? You don't own this game.
I don't? I mean, I can buy it. People are asking if anybody wanted to group up. But Ken's character looks like how I imagine Josh does when he goes outdoors. Is that our network?
It's some network.
Josh's head is shinier than the helmet, though. Possible.
He's also just more of a natural shade of blue.
Oh, this is not going to end well. Latency warning popping up all the time.
We're not streaming that much video. Do Ryzen APUs only have one CCX? I don't know the answer to that. I think that will probably be the case.
Would seem difficult to fit a GPU.
Yeah.
With two.
Yeah.
Well, they haven't shown a reluctance to go big.
No.
I don't think.
On the GPU side, they surely
Ryzen APUs
yeah.
could be its biggest threat ever.
Yeah.
Be funny if it used the TR4 package.
The network lag thing is not unusual, I'm told here.
It's early access, folks. that means you can buy the game and there's still we might fix them one day.
C Madrid says, I might buy a Third River part depending on how big my car accident settlement ends up being. Everybody's got to have goals. I'm with you. I had a car accident settlement still pending as well. Ooh. Does your health regen? Do you have health packs? Is that a thing?
I think I do, but I don't want to get into my inventory right now. I don't know how it works.
That looks like a good time to do it.
Does it? Because I just heard an explosion.
Oh. I don't hear the explosion. I assume when I look over, I think everything is calm and peaceful in the world of... what does Giant Bomb call this? Death Island?
Murder Island.
Oh, Murder Island. Yeah. I thought those t-shirts were funny. Murder Death Island would be a good one, too.
Bandaging wounds.
Can you bandage while prone? Or do you have to be, like, standing up?
Fine, Jim. We can do it your way.
I'm just saying.
Oh, yeah, I probably should use the energy drink instead. I think that...
I got one of those.
Yeah, it's a fake Red Bull can.
I have green Red Bull.
Yes.
Sugar-free green Red Bull.
You're not a lunatic.
Yeah.
Yeah, the sugar's the unhealthy thing for you in Red Bull.
Oh.
Yep. There was someone waiting in that house. They closed the door behind them, though.
We need to integrate a soundboard into this setup.
But I want to be able to control it over here. Yeah.
Get the Price is Right fail music queued up.
Stressed Out Cat, if you want to look into shipping for it, that would be amazing. It would need to come to Florence, Kentucky. 7, 8, 9, and 0 are medkit, first aid, bandage, energy drinks.
I'm not going to remember that, but thank you. I should remember it, but...
Oh, wait, Josh is in here. Hi, Josh.
Shouldn't he be working at some job?
Yeah, it's still early way out there, Josh. In Mountain Time Zone.
He's on lunch, isn't he?
That could
be. He's 2 hours behind us.
It'd be a late lunch, but it could be lunch.
White Zero says, having a Rift for over a week now, it's nutso playing room scale games. My wife and I are enamored with it. I find that to be the case for the most part. When you first get the VR setup, it's amazing, unlike anything you've ever seen before, more than likely. And I did the same thing. I brought the Vive home and set it up in our dining room. You know, got rid of things like tables and chairs that are unnecessary for living. And set it up, and even my wife was impressed and wowed by it. Are you sickling that person in the head?
Mm-hmm. You try strapping the headset on Emily?
It doesn't do any damage.
No, we have not. I never did that. I thought about it, but not for very long, because even as a 2-year-old, her ability to separate that this is not reality is probably muted.
Plus, I wonder if even her eyes, her head is so small.
Yeah.
That's
probably not supposed to do that with children under like what, age 6 or something.
Oh no. Well, the 3DS had that problem as well, but I'm not worried about the.
I'm not worried about screwing up her eyes based on absolutely no evidence I have that it won't.
Well, then you have no evidence that it does.
Yeah, I do. Companies, because of liability reasons, are saying children can't use these products.
Yeah, but that's
Why
just
would
because
they do that unless there
don't
was some
know.
research?
That's just because they don't know.
Well, I'm not talking about strapping it to her and sticking her in a room for 3 hours.
Which is a device targeted towards kids. So why would they say kids under certain
Daddy
age
needs a little
couldn't
quiet
use
time.
3DS?
Here, put this on.
Yeah, exactly. I think they do it because they don't know.
Then how would you arbitrarily pick the cutoff?
I don't know. They do it all the time. You know how many toys they sell for kids that say not for children 3 or younger? All of them is the answer. Almost all of them. And they're just fine. My kid has tons of toys that are labeled home-friendly ages 3 and over.
You know,
they don't have small pieces.
Yeah,
they don't have small pieces.
Yeah.
They don't smell like candy. Like those are the two reasons you don't give kids toys. They don't have rope that has a knot in it somewhere.
But you know that it's somewhere out there.
Because you like to artificially limit your selling market for no reason?
No, they're not. It's not no reason. It's because they've
liability.
been sued.
It's just an abundance of caution to protect themselves as best they could, which doesn't limit them from suit, but you know. Somewhere out there is a really unlucky, kind of bumbling person who is responsible for a disproportionate number of those warnings.
Yeah.
He's the guy who choked on the Happy Meal toy. He's the one who drank the dish soap, or she. Could be anyone.
Yeah, easy now.
Yeah. Not, or however, wherever you fall on the spectrum is, this kind of circumstance can beset anyone.
Let's see. I like people giving me links in here. Oh, there's an auto-it enabled soundboard, which is just 144 buttons that you can then assign a WAV file to each button.
Great. I'll give you some sound clips now. Ooh. Ah. Aw.
I wasn't sure if the awe was a actual sound effect or your disappointment at our reaction.
That's gonna be a pretty good. Not having directional audio really sucks.
Sorry.
That's fine.
Again, we figure out something else. Here's an Onion story. Fun toy banned because of 3 stupid dead kids.
Jeez.
There's
switch off from my computer real quick, Alex.
Switch back to our main shop. That story is from August 16th, 2000, by the way, that Onion story. Are we changing?
We're going to see if this will work this time.
You
don't want him to switch back until
you
you
guys
see
would
if it
not
works?
believe what kind of stuff
back.
Ken's into that he's looking at right now. Oh. Unreal Tournament.
Did you just die? Is that why you switched?
Yeah. Oh, this is a bit different pace.
Is that our first official rage quit?
Every PC Perspective game stream has
we're
to have
0 for
Unreal
1.
Tournament 2004. It's a tried and true method.
How many people are in this map?
Like 6.
Okay.
Of course, anyone who's playing Unreal Tournament 2004 during the day in 2017 is probably pretty good. I'd have to guess. Maybe not. These could be bots for all I know.
So we've moved on. We're no longer playing PlayerUnknown's Battleground. Now I got to go in here and edit all this information. We're now playing Unreal Tournament 2004, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, done. Was it GFE that auto detects?
I think so.
Yeah.
What happens if you put the wrong title or the wrong game in your Twitch profile?
It doesn't particularly matter because we don't remember to change it when we're doing the podcast and stuff.
Well, generally the Twitch title is just set to PC Perspective Podcast live Wednesdays, 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific. That way it's unchanged. But if we do more live stuff like this, then we have to remember to switch back and forth. So there is that. What else do we have in the background?
I mean, is it just for...
We should...
Oh, I just got this in. Did you guys see this? This was in my loot crate this week, or this month.
Funny. I watched that show in the past couple of weeks.
Yeah.
It's very good. I don't think you'd necessarily like it, but it's very good.
Because I'm old? Is that what you're saying?
I just don't think it's your sense of humor necessarily.
Oh.
It took a couple episodes for me to get into it. It's very difficult to get into.
The box says explicit content. It covers up his middle fingers. That's what the explicit content was. My $20 a month random box of stuff Yeah. Actually, I did get a new. I did like the shirt they sent this month, a Ninja Turtle shirt. I'm a fan of Ninja Turtle shirts.
We should ask the
Yeah,
chat.
I mean, all those services because there's a ton of them. They can be great if you luck out and they send you a box of what you're looking for. But
many months I have gotten all garbage.
Yeah, and maybe it's not garbage. It's just not something you're not interested in.
Yeah. My favorite Loot Crate item that we got in was it was an oven mitt, like with some Marvel character like Captain America or something, like glove that was an oven mitt, and then it was recalled because apparently the joint between the thumb and the hand was very thin fabric, and like that's how people pick stuff up. Yes. So that was apparently bad.
Burn the crap out of you.
Yeah.
I'm not very good at this game.
Well, you're 0 for 2 then.
Listen, if we're only playing games and
all right,
I'm going to try to be good
get
at them.
Who Wants to Be a Millionaire out.
We don't have an optical drive, Jim.
I got a USB one over here.
Yeah, sorry, people couldn't see this. This was Rick and Morty. But this is Rick, right?
Yeah.
He's just holding up 2 middle fingers.
Our show comes back on Sunday.
Well, they had their April Fool's episode.
But I mean, it's been like 2 years since the last season. Like they've taken a long time.
Yeah.
Oh, it's been 2 full years.
It's been a while.
It's like right around 2 years, I think.
I mean, the show it's very similar.
Wait. Somebody said they pre-ordered the SNES thing.
Oh yeah, it was on I got mine at Walmart.
Yeah.
It was up for like 2 minutes.
But only Walmart.
No, a couple places had it, I think. At least now in stock alerted me.
I hate this whole system.
You can have mine.
I want oh look, the original NES Classic is on Amazon Prime for $250.99. I never got one of those. Yeah. And I tried hard.
A lot of people didn't get one of those.
We should do a video where we build a really polished RetroPie.
That's not what I want.
Okay, but I'm just saying,
like that's people always call that an alternative. It's not an alternative.
It's better than an alternative.
What? The Raspberry Pi?
Yeah. I don't have to, I know it's easy to set up RetroPie, but I don't want to have to go fucking get ROMs from some shady websites and stuff like that. Want them to sell me the video games in a legal form.
Well,
not really.
I'd love that too, but sometimes companies like Nintendo don't. Yeah. They don't allow for that, and when they don't, then the free market takes over.
Yeah, and then what is it? I just heard that they filed the
black market. Emphasis on free.
They filed the patent for N64 Classic.
Of course they did.
This week.
I don't know if I want to use a small version of the N64 controller.
I think it would have to be a full-size version of N64 commercial or controller. But they already have some of those systems that, like, the games are already in the N64 controller, right? Like.
Yeah, but those are like third-party crap.
Those are illegal too, I assume.
I don't know if they're illegal, but they're just not well done.
Unlicensed.
Sure, we'll call it that.
Got a multi-kill.
What? Must have been an accident.
I think these are probably just bots, right?
I don't know.
Who would be playing Unreal Tournament 2004 right now?
When we did our game nights, was that post podcast on Wednesdays? Man, I can't remember. We used to do that. I'm so much older than I used to be.
I wouldn't mind downloading another game from Steam if there's anything they want to see quickly, like to mess around in. Just,
do we have anything else on there already?
I would have to change Steam accounts probably, but we can download something real quick if the chat has any funny ideas. Let's be honest.
Well, we've only got about 10 or 15 more minutes on our scheduled stuff here anyway, so apparently in the UK they had their SNES pre-orders.
Yeah, they went up like the day it was announced. Okay, and they get the cool one. They get the Super Famicom looking one. That's what their SNES looks like.
Yeah. Okay, we've had a couple of requests to stream of me playing Ultima Online, so I might have to figure that out at some point.
Yeah.
I just personally am curious now to compare what the official Ultima Online is today versus the
I think you'll probably
unofficial.
Hate it, considering it has microtransactions.
Yeah. Yeah.
When has anything ever been good once they added microtransactions?
Do I have Origin on here? Hope not. No, I don't. Okay, good. I mean, if they're charging $12.99 a month for the game still, it must be free. Has to be free.
You mean the base game? Yeah.
Yeah, right?
I mean,
like, that would be insane. I do love that they still have the uo.com URL as well. Getting started.
You have lost the match.
Choose a client, classic client or enhanced client.
I have lost the match.
Classic client, original client used to play Ultima Online. Less features on the enhanced client, but preferred by many longtime players who favor the simpler nature. I prefer the simpler nature.
Did not show you the kills?
We don't want to.
The tab?
Frighten
that brings
them.
up the console, because of course it does.
We'll
never know.
What'd you say, Jim?
I was saying they don't want to like overwhelm you or frighten you. It's
True.
very, very gentle.
The enhanced client has improved graphics, a more robust radar, visible macro bar for easier macro assignment, and allows for custom interface setups. Then you select a shard. Oh man. Character creation. Would I be a human, elf, gargoyle? What were gargoyles? Male or female? If I were to guess, I was an elf. Actually, I don't remember. Maybe my account's still active. I still have the same email address.
Use the same password as your bank account?
Oh, yeah. Starting location. No. Like, client download. This is probably something to even play on my laptop. 14-day free trial. Requires DirectX 8.1 or higher.
Oh, geez. We're going to have to scrounge some hardware to meet those requirements here.
Pull the Titan XP.
I don't really want to do this yet. I got too many things to do this week. It seems not ideal. The original Ultima Online only had humans. If you only played in the 90s, early 2000s, then you weren't an elf. Okay. That's very specious of them.
Man, this game. That music.
White Zero says check out the UO Renaissance. Do they allow it? They have a client download, I assume, as well, or do I have to download the client separately? They have a Mumble server, an IRC chat room.
Like it's still the 90s.
This website thinks it is still the 90s. UO Renaissance Windows client package, 325 megs. Mac OS client, it's 1.1 gigs. I don't know why.
Is it still PowerPC or?
Updated June 2016.
Oh no, okay, it'd be Universe or Intel. I mean,
updated to support El Capitan.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. And the other client says it works on XP Vista 7, 8, and 10. Just install and play. Yeah.
I think you need to run it on era-specific hardware to get the true experience.
Let's see, what computer would I have been playing on at that point? It would have been a...
Was it you said 97-ish?
Yeah. 97 is when it came out, so I was probably playing in 97 or 98. I want to say it was a Packard Bell, but I have no idea what processor was in it.
Well, the Pentium 4.
I don't think I ever had a 486 stuff, so it might have been like a Pentium, like just an original Pentium.
Oh, so it was an older computer. It wasn't.
No, well, no.
Because the P3s were what?
I was playing well before that, way before the P3 was a thing. I could do the Wikipedia real fast and just see when those processors were released. But I'm sure I wouldn't have bought like state of the art. My mom was buying the computer at Best Buy type of thing. So the Pentium 66 megahertz, no, the Pentium Tillamook core came out in August of 97.
Got some good cheese.
And the P55C came out in January 97. Socket 7, up to 233 megahertz for the P55C and up to 300 megahertz for the Tillamook. And then the P6 was out in 96. I don't remember which one I had. That was Pentium 2. Pentium 2 was slot. It definitely wasn't a slot processor that I had in that one.
My first computer was a dual.
A dual P50?
P55C.
P55C?
Yeah, 64 megs of RAM.
64, wow.
Yeah.
That was a lot.
Splurge.
That was a lot.
Like an S3 video card, I think it was.
He said, White Zero says if I were to play the old client, I should downscale to 720p. It does not scale at higher resolution.
I think you'd have to downscale even beyond that. What would have been the? I mean, probably not 800 by 600. It was probably 1024 by 768 at that point. I mean, obviously they're smaller.
I mean, that's been around forever, so probably. Hold that button down. Does that not work?
I don't. Worthless weapon.
The green gook fire. What's that? What's the weapon called?
Biogun.
Yeah, I never liked it.
I
feel like it's for players who are good. You know, and I say that in a self-deprecating manner.
Yeah. Oh, I could have.
Whereas rocket launchers are for players who are bad.
I think that Quake Champions beta is still going on.
The Quake Champions?
I'll be able to play some.
And what was the Lawbreakers beta? Was that still going on?
Yeah, I think so. I think it's
gonna. Well, Destiny 2's not on the PC, is it? Not yet.
Yeah, but I have the beta invite for that. So.
Game requires 750 megs of local space. Can you believe that? Yeah, I mean, I definitely had computers before that, guys. I'm trying to figure out what I was playing Ultima Online on. I do remember like the first PC game I ever played was Microsoft Flight Simulator off of copied discs, floppy discs, where you had to load both discs each time you wanted to play.
Yes.
I think either that or I didn't know to copy them to the hard drive or something to that effect.
That was your first game?
That was the first game
I
played.
My first game was one of the Zorks, and I remember. I mean, I was young, and I remember being quite confused at all the reading.
I think I was looking at the Zork.
At the graphics on the box, and I'm like, wait a minute.
That's real bait and switch.
I think when I was playing Flight Simulator, it wasn't for the game. It was because I liked the idea of typing into a command line and having the game start. Like it was loading the game, setting your high mem, whatever garbage. Because again, at the time I didn't know about like bat files and stuff like that. But I was just impressed that I was smart enough to get it to run, I guess.
Yeah, I
could you still get it to run?
No, and thus began a long-standing relationship of me and being mediocre at PC games. I did get pretty good at like TIE Fighter and stuff. And then, did you get Wing Commander? Did you buy Wing Commanders?
I think I've got some. I don't have the whole collection, but so
the giant
all those games behind those guys there, we've got maybe 3 times as many as you see there coming still. Various means, various sources. I got some Wing Commander coming. I got classic flight sims. I got Microsoft Flight Simulator 95, 2002.
Nice.
I've got a whole bunch of more Star Wars games.
Flight Sim X is on Steam.
What's that?
I think Flight Sim X is on Steam.
It is. That after Microsoft abandoned it after
made
that
a Steam
whole
edition.
They did, and that provides removed the games for Windows stuff, and then provides all the modding support.
Yeah.
It's decent. I mean, X-Plane's still where it's at if you're into the latest graphics and
well, I think that new release of X-Plane was supposed to be good for. Alex, can you switch off? I think we're probably done.
Yeah, we're gonna wrap up here.
Oh, you can't Alt F4 UT 2004.
That sounds not right.
Add it to the database of things. You can't Alt F4.
So, that was PCPer plays. Question mark. So we're gonna do more of these. We want to do more of the regular occurring streams. We're gonna pick a different game. I'm not gonna say we're never gonna do the same one. For example, if we get 2 or 3 people playing Battlegrounds, it might be more fun, right? If once we figure out how to get, if we can use NDI and if all that type of stuff works, we'll be playing some of these games behind us. Maybe the next one we do might be TIE Fighter. You would probably recommend we do TIE Fighter over X-Wing.
Yeah, for a first time.
There's no reason to do them all or to do them sequentially or something like that.
Well, I mean, they each have unique stories and experiences, but TIE Fighter is probably the most classic.
I think it will show the best.
Yeah.
No, I mean, X-Wing versus TIE Fighter is going to be the best.
It's the best from. I mean, at the time because of its multiplayer, but X-Wing versus TIE Fighter had no story until the Balance of Power campaign, and even then it was like a story slapped onto a multiplayer, environment. So I mean, I understand you like that game because you have those multiplayer memories.
Yes.
But for something like this where we're kind of doing a, let's show Ken what happened before he was born. And my God, we're so old kind of streams.
We'll probably make Alan attempt a speed run of Myst at some point.
There you go.
He has an attraction to Myst.
What are these?
Those are coasters.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Thanks, Siri. Really needed you.
What did we say? This sounded like stupid thing. So if you guys have comments or feedback, you don't like the format, you want to see different things, let us know in the comments. We'll be upgrading this a little bit as we go, try to improve audio and move the set around behind us a little bit, that type of stuff. Maybe adjust the lighting a little bit too. It looks like it's okay.
Yeah,
but
we'll play with it.
We'll mess around with it. But hey, we had this extra table and we thought, why not put it together and point a camera at it for an hour and a half or so. So thanks, guys. We'll see you next time. And we might put up a poll at some point for. I think we're going to make this like for Patreon backers. Yeah. We'll give them a poll of maybe two or three games that we are willing to play the next week, and let them choose and remove ourselves of the veto power to override them. That might be the most critical part. So if you're a Patreon subscriber, that's at patreon.com/PCPer. Then you might have some of that flexibility and a little bit of a heads up of what we're going to do next time. Otherwise, that's it. Thanks, Ken.
No problem.
Thanks for dying on stream many times.
Anytime.
It was great. See you guys.
See ya.